the original Elvis recording. I definitely didn't want to hear a sad love song, Christmas-themed or otherwise. It was time to leave. Fine, Mick. Party pooper. I'll see you in a while. I grabbed a little red bow off of my counter and clipped it onto my braid. Jenny had made it for me one Christmas. Her class had been making bows for moms and aunts and sisters, and she made one for me. Now I would wear it in tribute to Jenny and to the season. I locked the door of my little dwelling, which was actually an old gatehouse behind a much larger property, and climbed into the car. It smelled like cheesy heaven. Those little kids didn't know what joys awaited them. I buckled in, flipped on the radio, and started backing out of the long driveway, headed for Dickens Street. A woman's voice on the Chicago light music station was speaking in soothing tones about the Christmas season. She informed me that it was 12:06. "It's December 16th, she warned. Have you finished all of your holiday shopping? If not, remember that Dalby's has a full-service gift shop right next to the deli." Dalby's was a Chicago area grocery chain. I shopped there often, and if I didn't get my act together, I realized I would probably end up doing all of my holiday shopping at a grocery store. This made me briefly sad. So I lifted my chin and changed to the classical station. There was only one in Chicago, but it was fantastic. Right now it was playing something from the Nutcracker, and I pounded an imaginary baton on my steering wheel as I turned on Breville Road and headed north. There was a Dalby's on the left side of the street, highlighting the commercial message from the radio. I hadn't been to that particular store for almost a month because of an unpleasant experience that had made me avoid it. At the end of November, I had stopped at Dalby's in the evening to pick up some ingredients for a client's dish. While I marched down the spice aisle in quest of a 4-pepper blend that almost always sold out, I caught a glimpse of a dark-haired man pushing his cart past the mouth of the aisle. I shrank against the wall of spices, but he hadn't seen me. It was Jay Parker, a police detective with whom I'd shared what turned out to be a one-evening event. I couldn't even call it a fling. It was just some rather passionate kissing that had suggested we might have a future together. Parker had later cast me off because I lied to him for very complicated reasons, and the whole thing had been humiliating. The last thing I wanted ever again was to see him. I found my pepper and decided to forgo the rest of the things on my list. I raced to the checkout lane, glancing furtively behind me to see if Parker was there. The girl at the register was outrageously chatty, asking if I liked the cold weather and if I had any fun plans for Christmas. And though I gave her terse answers and forced a smile, she continued to chat, her hands moving at a leisurely pace. I was on the verge of strangling her when she finally handed me the pepper in a small bag and said, "Thanks for shopping at Dalby's. Have a nice day." Normally, I couldn't get one word or even eye contact out of a checkout person, but because I wanted to leave, karma had made this one my best friend. I grabbed the bag from her and heard a voice say, "Lilah." I froze. It was Parker's voice. I peeked behind me to see that he was in line 2 carts back. His startling blue eyes met mine, and they had the high-voltage effect they always did. "Oh, hi, Jay." "How are you?" he asked. The little white-haired lady between us, along with the checkout girl, whose name tag said, "Hi, I'm Bonita," watched without apology, open-mouthed with wonder, probably at Parker's good looks. "Oh, I'm fine. Just super busy. In fact, I have to run. It was good seeing you, though," I said. I was talking far too rapidly, which aggravated me and